Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to answer the question, will Wizards of the Coast buy Pathfinder? Alright, so I'm going to give you my answer. The answer is yes. I am predicting... Oh, this is my prediction. This is my humble opinion. Alright, so in my humble opinion, Wizards of the Coast will buy Pathfinder within the next 3 years. Alright? So let's talk about why I think this, because this is definitely a new opinion, and it's based on very recent information that just happened, right? So what just happened recently that would make me believe that Wizards of the Coast is going to that Wizards of the Coast will buy Pathfinder. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about it. So why would Dungeons & Dragons... why would Wizards of the Coast, creators of Dungeons & Dragons, buy Pathfinder? There is a couple of good reasons. So one, Pathfinder is Dungeons & Dragons' only real legitimate competition. Dungeons & Dragons absolutely slaughters Pathfinder, and they're opening the gap every single day. And the reason they're opening the gap is Paizo made an absolutely catastrophic product decision with Pathfinder 2. Pathfinder 2, in my humble opinion, is a massive, absolute, shocking failure. It is a terrible idea, and it was a bad idea from the gate. All right, and the reason why is if there was ever any game in the world that did not want a new edition, it was Pathfinder. And the reason why is Pathfinder was born from an entire community who did not want to go to a new edition. Right, so of course they would be the most resistant to a new edition that exists. And I think the Glass Cannon, who's like the number one podcast, like number one Pathfinder, is like doing other games now. Like they're all like, yeah, we admit it, Pathfinder 2 sucks, right? Like, you know, so Pathfinder 2 was an absolutely catastrophic mistake. Now, you know, no shade on Paizo. They tried something and they failed. But I do think, well, I guess there is shade. They should have known better. I'm kind of pro-failure. I really am pro-failure. I really feel like some of the richest things I've ever experienced in my life have come out of failures, right? Failure pays. If you don't know this, learn it, because it's really important, right? Failure pays, not dollars. It pays in other ways that do turn into dollars later, right? So I think it was, you know, it's worth them taking a risk. They failed, okay, right? And here's the good thing that could happen. All right, so first of all, what's changed my mind? That I will tell you, a week ago, I didn't think this was the case. Here's what changed. $145 million for D&D Beyond is ridiculous. It's a fancy Wikipedia, and it doesn't like. There's nothing on there that you won't find on Wikipedia. Like the character builder is like a little more advanced. And the fancy dice are, you know, who cares, right? The rest of it is literally Wikipedia sold for $145 million. So here's the thing. If Wizards of the Coast got that kind of cheddar, they can easily spin up $75 million to buy Pathfinder lock, stock, and barrel. Now, how could they do that? Well, for one, Paizo it makes $25 million a year. That's their entire gross. That's everything, right? We already know this because they state their... in 2021, they made like $25 million, right? Like that's how much Paizo made, lock, stock, and barrel. And Wizards of the Coast made in 2021, same year, they made $875 million. Like it's like 32 times more. Like I think it's 35 times more than they make. It's ridiculously much higher, right? Like so the reality is it's a rinky-dink, you know, like lemonade stand compared to Wizards of the Coast. And so all Wizards of the Coast, in my opinion, would need to buy Pathfinder is $75 million. And here's the thing. That's half a yacht, right? Like, you know, like, and so, and here's the other thing, right? Dungeons & Dragons is all about money now, right? Like, in that they can get money when they need it, right? And so one of the things you could do is you could just say, hey, you know, we need some rich person, we don't even need a billionaire, right? Like, yeah, just a billionaire, right? And like, okay, you just need one billionaire. We got 700 of them in America, 700, right? Like, you know, like there's actually, there's 700 billionaires just in America, right? And so the reality is, in 700 billionaires, you can find one schmuck to pony up 75 million. They just need the financing, right? And, you know, so basically, and then what you would do is, what would you get for $75 million for Pathfinder? Well, what you would get is, you would get Pathfinder 1, Pathfinder 2, Starfinder, right? And here's how you would roll it, okay? Pathfinder is actually worth something. They've got some amazing, they have some amazing adventure paths. Those are really good, right? And all together, Pathfinder 1 and Starfinder 1, right, is very good, right? Like, there's some good content there, right? As long as you're not comparing it to Dungeons and Dragons, right? And then the other thing is, just let's be super clear, burn PF2. It's a complete waste of time. It should have never been built. It's a failure. Don't spend another minute on it, right? But keep Pathfinder 1 and keep Starfinder, right? Now, what does Wizards of the Coast do with Pathfinder and Starfinder after you throw Pathfinder 2 in the trash, which is where it belongs? What do you do with Pathfinder 1 and Starfinder 1, right? Well, you do A/B testing, right? Every weirdo experiment that Wizards of the Coast wants to do with Dungeons and Dragons, they can then do with Starfinder and Pathfinder, with Pathfinder and Starfinder. So, what would we do? What would happen if we never printed another book and it all went digital? Try that with Pathfinder. You know, like, and any major change you want to try with Dungeons and Dragons, try it on Pathfinder. So Pathfinder becomes the guinea pig, right? And you're going to run whatever weirdo test you actually want to know the answer for Dungeons and Dragons. You run it as an experiment on Pathfinder. So Pathfinder just becomes a guinea pig that you're going to, you know, poke, and, you know, try different serums on and blah, 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 right? And so I'm not in support of animal testing, but only if that animal is Pathfinder, right? So basically it would become A/B testing for Dungeons and Dragons. And guess what? $75 million is throwaway money for D&D now. Oh yeah, right? And because, like, if you could waste $145 million on Wikipedia plus dice and a builder, come on, like, you know. So the reality is, like, they can literally be like, hey, you know, we got a real Hollywood movie. Hey, billionaire, would you like to have lunch with Hugh Grant? You know, like, we need $75 million, right? Get the $75 million, buy Pathfinder and Starfinder, use them for A/B testing as a guinea pig, throw Pathfinder 2 in the trash, done. And I think Wizards of the Coast is going to see the value of this, right? Because they can steal it. You could steal Pathfinder, like, because Pathfinder's like, we give up. We're not a real company. We're like every other scrub indie, and we're just making 5e stuff right now, like everybody else, right? Like, just like the guy who's got 3 PDFs up on DriveThruRPG, right? So you could steal it, right? Like, and I think that's what they should do, and I think that's what they will do. That's my take. Do you think Wizards of the Coast will buy Pathfinder for its real value, which is A/B guinea pig for D&D, to try all the weird things you would want to try on D&D, but because D&D is a precious golden goose you could never do, but you could run Pathfinder into the ground as an experiment guinea pig? That's my take. I definitely think it will happen. What do you think? Do you think Wizards of the Coast will do this? Do you think they should do it? And also, what do you think? I think Pathfinder, I think everything Paizo owns is worth $75 million. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.